During their live broadcasts, Kelly Ripa frequently attacks her husband, Mark Consuelos, as live viewers are aware. But recently, a well-known visitor did it for Kelly by attacking Mark. What transpired during these recent scenes, and what was said by this well-known guest? Kelly Ripa tears Mark Consuelos often a novel one. It's inevitable that complaints from the home will be heard on a highly popular talk show when your coworker is also your wife. When Mark Consuelos and Kelly Ripa are on the talk show set, this is precisely the situation. Their private marital arguments frequently become talking points in front of the studio audience, since these two cannot distinguish between work and home, and as a result, Kelly is never hesitant to put her husband in the doghouse. On Live, a well-known guest rips down Mark. Kelly Ripa had a well-known guest on to do her work for her when it came to roasting Mark Consuelos, according to recent live scenes. Keira Knightley was a recent guest on the talk program, promoting her new Netflix series, Black Doves, it turns out. The actress is the main character in the spy thriller Black Doves. It has so far shown itself to be well-liked on the platform. However, Kelly Ripa claims that Mark Consuelos was not captivated by the new show. Ripa claimed that her husband missed it because he left to take a phone call when they were watching it. As a result, Mark was reprimanded by Keira Knightley for missing her show. "Mark, you have to listen," she pleaded. Mark acknowledged that he needs to focus more. He may be accustomed to his wife giving him these kinds of criticisms, but Keira Knightley also gave it to him. Is jet lag still affecting Mark Consuelos? Mark Consuelos and Kelly Ripa recently spent a weekend in Italy to watch Campobasso FC play football. The club is partially owned by Kelly and Mark. They were able to watch their team play. They also got to see their daughter, Lola Consuelos, and her boyfriend as a bonus. With their children now grown up, Kelly and Mark have a lot more leisure to travel and engage in other activities. Mark might have been more affected by jet lag than his wife was, but the audience undoubtedly saw his receiving a reprimand from Keira Knightley to be a humorous moment as well. Mornings on Live with Kelly and Mark are usually a blend of warm banter, playful spousal ribbing, and a lineup of guests who seem ready to embrace the show's easygoing charm. But every so often, something unexpected sparks in the studio. A moment so unscripted, so deliciously awkward, that it leaves both the hosts and the audience buzzing long after the cameras stop rolling. That was exactly what happened when Mark Consuelos, the ever-confident co-host, found himself on the receiving end of a sharp and hilarious telling off by a famous guest. The moment not only went viral but also reminded viewers why Live thrives on its unpredictability. The guest who stole the show. The morning started like any other. Kelly Ripa, in her usual chick ensemble, was already teasing her husband about forgetting his cue cards, while Mark grinned sheepishly. The producers had promised a special guest, who was sure to light up the segment, but no one could have predicted just how much of a spark they'd bring. When the curtain opened and actor-comedian Wanda Sykes strolled onto the stage, the audience erupted into applause. Known for her razor-sharp wit and unfiltered honesty, Wanda had the kind of energy that could tilt any interview off script. Kelly greeted her with open arms while Mark extended his hand, clearly excited to chat. "Mark," Wanda said, raising an eyebrow as she sat down. "You're cuter in person, but you talk too much." The audience gasped and then burst out laughing. Kelly nearly spilled her coffee, immediately sensing that the segment was about to become a classic. The moment of truth, Mark, always quick to recover, chuckled nervously. "Well, thank you, I think. But wait, I talk too much. I feel like Kelly's usually the one." No, Wanda interrupted, wagging her finger. "Kelly's allowed. She's earned it. You, on the other hand, sometimes need to take a little seat and let her shine." The audience cheered like it was a sporting event, while Kelly pretended to polish her nails on her dress, reveling in the unexpected backup. "Oh, Wanda," she said, "you're my new favorite guest. Please stay forever." Mark sat back, shaking his head in mock defeat. "So I'm just supposed to sit here quietly? That's the note." "That's right," Wanda shot back. Be handsome, nod, and let Kelly do her thing. You'll still get a paycheck. The crowd roared. Kelly fans the flames. Kelly, of course, couldn't resist leaning into the chaos. See, Mark? This is what I've been saying since April when you started co-hosting. It's not me, it's the guests who feel it. Ed 2, Wanda. Mark sighed dramatically, clutching his chest as though betrayed by his favorite comedian. Wanda wasn't done. Look, you're doing great. But let me help you out, Mark. When you feel like saying something, count to 3. If Kelly hasn't said it yet, then you can jump in. Otherwise, zip it. The laughter was so loud that the producers had to hold for a moment before continuing. Even the camera crew was shaking from trying not to laugh on air. The roast continues, but Wanda wasn't finished roasting. Later in the segment, as they discussed holiday traditions, Mark tried to explain his efficient style of cooking during family gatherings. I'm the grill master, he said proudly. Thanksgiving, Christmas, you name it, I've got it covered. I don't need recipes. Wanda leaned forward, her expression incredulous. You don't need recipes? Honey, that explains everything. You're probably out here serving chicken with no seasoning, just vibes. Kelly nearly slid off her chair in hysterics. I've been saying that for years. Wanda, please, move in with us. Mark tried to defend himself. No, my kids love my cooking. Wanda crossed her arms. That's because they're scared of you. You're their dad. Nobody's gonna tell you your turkey is dry to your face. The audience was in tears, and Mark finally threw his hands up. I can't win here. Mark's good-natured response. What made the exchange so golden was Mark's willingness to lean into the moment. Instead of bristling, he played the role of the good-natured foil, amplifying Wanda's jokes with his own reactions. I just want to point out, he said at one point, that I woke up this morning thinking this was going to be a nice interview. Instead, I've been roasted like one of my allegedly dry turkeys. Kelly smirked. Except people actually enjoyed Wanda's roast. The timing was impeccable, and the crowd roared again. Behind the scenes, after the segment wrapped, the laughter continued backstage. Producers reportedly told Mark that it was one of the funniest moments of the season, and Kelly admitted on social media that she'd never felt so vindicated in her life. Wanda herself posted a cheeky selfie with the couple, captioning it, "Love ya, Mark, but let Kelly talk more." The post instantly went viral, with fans flooding the comments. Wanda said what we're all thinking, one fan wrote. Kelly plus Wanda equals dream team, another declared. Mark's face when she said, be handsome and nod priceless, another viewer added. Why fans loved it. What struck fans most was how genuine the interaction felt. In an era where so many talk shows stick to carefully scripted interviews, the raw spontaneity of Wanda calling Mark out and Mark rolling with it felt refreshing. It was comedy, authenticity, and chemistry all rolled into one. Social media buzzed for days, with clips of the moment trending on TikTok and Instagram Reels. Memes popped up overnight. Mark photoshopped sitting silently in the background with captions like, handsome, nodding, thriving. Kelly herself joined in, posting a photo of Mark from the episode with the caption, Day 1 of Mark's silent era. The aftermath. By the next morning, Mark was in on the joke. On air, he arrived with a giant piece of duct tape across his mouth, silently handing Kelly her coffee. The audience roared, and Kelly clapped her hands in delight. Look at this man. Growth, she said. Mark peeled the tape off and grinned. Don't get used to it. But hey, Wanda, you made your point. The whole ordeal cemented itself as one of those iconic live moments that fans would talk about for years. For Mark, it was proof that sometimes the best TV happens when you don't try to control the moment. And for Kelly, well, it was proof that the universe and Wanda Sykes were firmly on her side. Closing thoughts. At the end of the day, the telling off wasn't mean-spirited. It was a reminder of the easy chemistry that keeps lives so beloved. A mix of unpredictability, humor, and just enough chaos to make viewers feel like they're part of an inside joke. Mark might not have expected to be roasted on national television, but he handled it with charm. And now, every time he opens his mouth on air, fans will be watching with a playful thought in the back of their minds. Count to three first, Mark.